Hey, what's up guys? Back again with another video. It's been a little while, but these past few months I've been playing a digital card game called Shadowverse instead of Yu-Gi-Oh! I took a little break from Yu-Gi-Oh! Just because I just wanted to change of pace, but I'm looking to come back into that after the new Master Rule changes. So yeah, I've been playing this, and recently, about 2 weeks ago, there was a Shadowverse Open West for February, and I got top 8. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the event itself, the decks that I played, and overall how I felt. So let's get into it. Okay, SVO is the Shadowverse Open West that places players from Europe and Americas against each other. It's free to enter, but there is a player cap of 256 players. The format is 2 out of 3. You bring 3 decks to play. In each round, you and your opponent see each other's deck lists, and you each ban 1 deck. It felt like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional, except instead of a direct invite to Nats, you earn contenders points, which you need to compete in an invitational tournament that allows you to compete at Worlds. You get 1 point for every round that you win, and regardless of wins or losses, you get 1 pack for every round that you play. And then top 8 gets additional prizes. February's event had about 200 players. It was a Swiss tournament, and the top cut was a single win playoff. You needed to have a record of X1 to make top cut, and the top 4 seeds were automatically put into the top 8, and then everyone else with an X1 record had to go into a playoff in order to reach top 8. Overall, I had a ton of fun. It was a great experience. It was my first SVO, and I learned a lot to prepare for the next event. So I'm going to go over briefly what I played and why. Okay, the first deck that I picked was Natural Rune. The concept of the deck is to play 7 trees and summon Riley from the deck. There's a ton of board clear with Pyromancer, Apex, Aeromentalist, Clashes, Carol. And then there are a ton of cards that generate trees, like the Arcane Aether, Traveler's Respite, Geo Elementist, Aero Elementalist, Passionate Potioneer. So it's a really strong deck. It's not really popular because Kuan is generally accepted as the strongest Runecraft deck, but you have a ton of card draw because you cycle through your trees, and every time you destroy a tree, you draw a card. The problem with the deck is it can brick if you don't see trees, which is what happened to me in top 8, or if you draw a bunch of Rileys, because Riley herself is a brick. But you have Mysterium Wisdom to put it back in the deck in case that happens. It's a really strong 2-card combo that kills your opponent on turn 7 if you go second, or turn 8 if you go first, between Carol and Riley. The deck was great all weekend except top 8, and it was the most played deck that I played this format because I actually used this to get to Grandmaster. The second deck that I played was Shootin' Doji Shadow. I thought it was one of the best decks in the format between this and Kuan. Shootin' Doji, which is this monster here, allows your opponents with 1 attack or 1 defense to attack with Storm. And generally monsters can't attack the turn they're played unless they have Rush, which lets them attack other monsters, or Storm, which allows them to attack other monsters or the opponent directly. It was really versatile in the early and mid game. You have a bunch of early game monsters here that you can use to attack and get some early chip damage. And then in the mid game, you get even better monsters. And it's really easy to play, which was another part that I liked about it. It's easy to play because of how nice the curvature fits. So turn 4, you can play Shootin' Doji. Turn 5, you can play Ceres. Turn 6, Ceres generates Eternal Vow, which is a 6 play point card, which lets you subtract 2 from all Shadowcraft monsters in hand. So then turn 6, if you have 2 play point followers in hand, you can play those for free. And then turn 7 was Eternal Vow. You get Gensetsu on 7. So just being able to follow that curvature made the deck really easy to pilot, which is why I chose this deck. The third deck that I picked was Amata's Forest. It's really good against Kuan Rune, which I thought would be one of the most popular decks in the event. The engine itself consists of generating a bunch of fairies, which are monsters with 1 attack, 1 defense, 1 play point, and you give them all Storm, and you boost their attack. So Divine Smithing gives them all 1 attack, or you can play it for 4 play points and give them Storm, Then Amataz gives them all 1 attack and 1 defense and gives them Storm. So the concept of the deck is to generate a bunch of fairies, give them Storm, and then just attack your opponent very quickly. So Kuan Rune needs to build up for a couple of turns before they can start their power plays. So this deck is really good because it'll kill them before they can get started. Okay, so those were the decks that I played. I really liked the event. I had a ton of fun. The prizing was fantastic. I really like that you get a card pack for every round that you play. And then you even get certain in-game cosmetic things just for participating in the event. I'm currently preparing for the next SVO because that takes place March 14th. And there's a mini expansion that just came out which changes the format up some. So I'm testing out a couple of different strategies, a couple of different ideas. And, you know, really thinking about what my lineup should be. But thank you all for watching. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you thought about the video, and I will see you next time. Take care.